All right, ready for a deep dive. We're tackling something today you might think you already know. Creatine.
Yeah, it's got a reputation, right?
Totally. You probably picture, I don't know, those super jacked weightlifters, protein shakes.
From rats, the whole 9 yards.
But what if I told you there's a whole other side to creatine?
Oh, absolutely. Benefits that go way beyond just packing on muscle.
And that's what we're digging into today, all based on
A video by Dr. Rosa, super interesting. It's called What Creatine Can Do for Your Health.
So, get this. He's talking about how creatine can actually make you think better,
Enhance your brain power, yeah.
protect your heart, even make your bones stronger.
It's kind of mind-blowing when you think about it.
Totally. We're talking like potential game changer, not just for the gym, but for your whole health picture.
100%.
But before we get ahead of ourselves, got to start with the basics, right? What even is creatine?
Okay, so creatine, it's a natural peptide, basically a small chain of amino acids.
Amino acids, okay.
And your body, get this, it produces creatine mostly in the liver.
Wait, hold on. So it's not like some weird chemical concoction they make in a lab.
Nope, not at all. Your body's already making this stuff and using it. It gets stored mainly in your muscles. Makes sense given the whole muscle growth connection.
Right.
But here's the kicker. It's also stored in your brain.
Creatine in my brain.
Yeah.
Okay, now this is where it gets interesting.
Right.
So Dr. Rosa, in this video, he was talking about some pretty incredible cognitive benefits.
Oh, yeah. Research is suggesting creatine can actually help all sorts of brain functions. Memory, reaction time, even your mood, focus, all that.
Yeah, he was talking about improved short-term memory, working memory, which is what we use, to process stuff on the fly.
Absolutely.
He even mentioned, like, brain fog,
Oh.
which, let's be real, who couldn't use a little help with that sometimes?
Right. So think of it this way. Almost like creatine's giving your brain cells this power-up. Give them the energy they need to function at their best.
Okay, I like that. A power-up.
Because basically what creatine does, it helps boost what's called ATP production.
ATP,
It's
that's...
the fuel, essentially,
Yeah.
that powers all those cellular processes.
So more creatine, more energy for the brain, which then leads to, like, all these cognitive perks.
You got it.
Oh, wow, I'm seeing the appeal here. Imagine, like, better focus at work, remembering names, just, I don't know, feeling sharper.
Oh, for sure.
It's huge, especially these days, right? Everything's so fast-paced.
Totally. And speaking of advantages, let's shift gears a bit back to the muscles.
Okay, yeah.
Dr. Rosa was talking about how creatine helps repair muscles faster after any workout.
Not just, like, heavy lifting.
Nope, any kind.
Oh, okay. So this isn't just for the bodybuilder types then?
Not at all. Anyone who works out regularly, runners, cyclists, swimmers, they can all benefit.
That's great.
And especially, he was saying, endurance athletes, they really put their muscles through it.
Makes sense.
He even mentioned this study, marathon runners. Creatine actually led to reduced markers of muscle damage.
Wow. So less soreness, which means you're more likely to, stick with your workout.
Exactly, because who wants to skip a day? Because they're still hurting from the last one.
No one.
It comes down to creatine's ability to reduce inflammation and cellular damage, like at the microscopic level.
Oh, wow.
Less damage equals less pain, faster recovery.
Makes sense. Okay, now, we can't talk creatine without hitting on what it's famous for.
Right.
Strength, power, endurance.
The holy trinity,
Yeah.
basically.
Those are like everyone's fitness goal.
And the research backs it up big
Yeah.
time. Studies show just supplementing with creatine, you can get strength increases of 8 to 14%.
Whoa, that's a lot.
It is.
Yeah.
And Dr. Rosa was saying if you combine creatine with beta-alanine,
Okay, yeah.
you can actually amplify those gains even more.
Which is good news for anyone who's, like, struggling to build muscle, right?
Exactly. And it all ties back to what we were talking about before with the ATP.
Right, the energy.
Creatine boosts it, which is the energy source for those quick bursts of power, intense activity. Plus, it helps delay that lactic acid buildup.
Or the burn.
The burn, exactly.
Yeah.
So you can work out harder, longer, before hitting that wall.
I can see why athletes love this stuff.
Oh, yeah. But it's not just about athletic performance. Dr. Rosa was talking about something called sarcopenia.
Sarcopenia, okay.
Which is like the age-related decline in muscle mass. Happens as we get older.
Right.
And this is crucial, he was saying, for maintaining strength, mobility, independence as we age.
So creatine could help us stay active and independent even as we get older.
Potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
He highlighted this study. They looked at people over 65. Combined creatine with strength training. Saw significant gains, both muscle mass and D strength.
Wow. So it really is never too late.
Never too late to invest in your muscle health.
I love that. Okay, so we've covered brains, muscles, but there's something else here. Dr. La Rosa mentioned heart health benefits, which honestly, I wouldn't have connected with creatine at all.
Right. It's surprising.
What's the link?
So there's research suggesting creatine can actually have a positive impact on your heart in a few ways. Some studies are showing it can reduce levels of triglycerides and LDL cholesterol.
The bad cholesterol.
The bad cholesterol, yeah.
Okay, so hold on. It's not just muscles and brains. It could be protecting our hearts, too.
It's looking that way. And there's even some promising research that creatine might actually boost nitric oxide production.
And nitric oxide, that's good for?
Blood vessels, blood flow.
Wow, the more we learn about creatine, the more fascinating it gets.
Right. It's amazing how this one substance can impact so many different parts of our health.
Yeah.
And we're not even done yet. There's still more to unpack. So we were just talking about heart health, right? And actually, that kind of ties into another benefit Dr. La Rosa was talking about, creatine and testosterone.
Oh, yeah, testosterone. It's a hot topic these days. A lot of people trying to, I don't know, boost their levels naturally. What's the connection with creatine?
Well, studies have shown if you combine creatine with strength training, you can actually get a natural bump in testosterone levels.
Like, how much of a bump are we talking?
Some studies, around 15%.
Okay, yeah, that's significant. But I know some people, they get worried about testosterone and hair loss. Is that a real concern?
It's a common myth, honestly. People think higher testosterone, automatic hair loss. But it's really about how your body handles testosterone, not just the levels.
What do you mean by that?
So more testosterone can mean your body converts more of it into DHT.
DHT.
And that's the hormone that can actually contribute to hair loss, but only if your body's not getting rid of it efficiently.
So it's not the testosterone itself, it's what your body does with it. What did Dr. La Rosa say about that?
He really emphasized supporting your liver.
The liver, okay.
Yeah, because it plays a huge role in filtering, detoxifying, all that. He even specifically mentioned like liver cleansing as a way to help your body process that DHT better.
Makes sense. Okay, now this next one, I gotta say, this one really surprised me.
What?
Dr. La Rosa was talking about creatine and get this bone health.
Yeah, it's another one where the benefits go way beyond what people think.
I always thought, calcium, vitamin D, that's what you need for strong bones. How does creatine even fit in?
So it's probably an indirect effect, meaning when you have more muscle mass, thanks to creatine, right, you're putting more stress on your bones when you exercise.
Oh, I see.
And that stress actually stimulates bone growth, increases density.
So it's like weightlifting for your skeleton?
Exactly. Great way to put it. Dr. La Rosa, he even talked about a study on women with arthritis. Creatine actually helped improve their joint function, leg muscle mass, which, led to a better quality of life for them.
It's crazy how interconnected all these systems in our bodies are,
It really is.
Okay, so obviously there's some common questions that come up with creatine, even some myths. Did Dr. La Rosa address any of that in the video?
Oh, yeah, he debunked a few big ones, like when you hear all the time is that you need to cycle creatine.
Yeah, the whole on-again, off-again thing.
Right, take it for a while, then stop. But he was saying there's actually no scientific evidence that you need to do that. Not at typical doses anyway. Seems like consistent daily intake is more effective.
Huh, interesting. What about timing? Like, when's the best time to take it? Before a workout, after? Does it matter?
Taking it after your workout, that's often recommended if you're really trying to maximize muscle gains. But honestly, what Dr. La Rosa emphasized was consistency.
So if I'm more likely to remember in the morning, just take it then.
Exactly. Find a routine that works for you and stick with it. That's the key. Now, there's one myth he really wanted to shut down, and that's the whole creatine damages your kidneys thing.
Oh, yeah, I've heard that one. Makes you think twice. What do you say about that?
He was very clear. For healthy people, at standard doses, creatine is safe, even long-term.
So how did that rumor even get started?
Probably because creatine gets converted into creatinine in the body.
Creatinine, right.
Which is a waste product that gets filtered out by the kidneys. So people see higher creatinine levels in their blood work, and they jump to conclusions. Think it means their kidneys are in trouble.
It's like blaming the messenger.
Exactly. Elevated creatinine, it just means you're taking creatine. Not that there's damage. It's a normal part of the process.
Okay, that's reassuring. Of course, like with anything, you should always check with your doctor, especially if you've got other health stuff going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But for most people, no need to fear creatine.
Got it. Now, I'm curious, can you get enough creatine just from food? Or do you need to supplement?
You can get some from your diet for sure, But hitting the effective dose just through food, that's tough. Best sources are animal products. And the winner, believe it or not, is herring.
Herring. Not exactly the most popular food out there.
True. Red meat, pork, certain fish, those are good too. But even if you're eating tons of that stuff, you'd still need to eat a lot to match the amount in a supplement.
So for most people, if they want all these benefits we've been talking about, probably best to just take a creatine supplement.
Yeah, usually the most practical and effective way to go.
It's kind of wild to think about, Something our bodies already make can have this much impact on our health.
Yeah, it really makes you realize everything's connected, right?
Yeah.
Like all the systems in our body. You support one area, it can have all these ripple effects.
Totally. I mean, we started this deep dive thinking creatine was all about, getting jacked, but it's so much more than that.
Way more.
Brain health, heart health, bones, even like testosterone, aging well.
It's a lot to take in.
It is. And the research is still going, right? Who knows what else they'll find out about creatine?
Yeah, there's a lot more to discover.
So, big question. What does this all mean for, the average person listening? Should everyone be taking creatine now?
Well, like with any health decision, got to do your research, talk to your doctor.
Yeah, makes sense.
They can help you figure out, is creatine right for you? Think about your goals, any other health stuff you got going on, medications.
Right. Important to consider all that.
Definitely. Creatine's not like a magic bullet or anything, but it could be a really useful tool for a lot of people.
Yeah, it seems that way.
And it makes you think, right? If creatine, something people kind of dismissed as a gym thing, can do all this.
Yeah.
What other stuff are we overlooking?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Right? Makes you want to stay curious, keep learning.
Totally. Always something new to discover about health and wellness.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
And the more we understand about our bodies, how they work, the better choices we can make, right?
Absolutely. Well said. Well, this was fascinating. Thanks for joining us for the deep dive into creatine. Hope everyone learned something new today.
My pleasure.
And remember, stay curious out there.